Hey everyone, and welcome to our Q&A presented by Just Love. I'm your host, Paula Jane, and I'm talking to Judy Carroll. Judy is an internationally known author. Her books include The Zeta Message, Human by Day, Zeta by Night, and her most recent book, Extraterrestrial Presence on Earth, Lessons in History. Welcome, Judy.
Hi Paula, hi everyone.
Well, in our last episode, episode 20, we were talking about the universe being made up of multiple energy bands or frequencies and how life force energy permeates the whole of creation. Can you talk more about these energy bands that the universe operates on?
Yes, the whole universe is energy, nothing more and nothing less, and the only real difference between everything that exists in the universe is vibrational frequency.
Okay, well, before you go any further, for those of us who haven't done science at school, what does that mean?
To break this down into nice simple terms, I only did science up to grade 10 as well. So everything in existence, planets, stars, moons, and everything around us on Earth, including ourselves, is made up of atoms grouped together to form molecules. These molecules vibrate at a particular energy frequency or rate. The faster they vibrate, the finer the substance is formed. A good example of this is ice, water and steam. Ice is a solid substance, so ice molecules vibrate at a certain rate. When ice is heated, the molecular vibration speeds up, which causes it to become less solid and more liquid. If you continue to heat it, it then evaporates as steam, which is even less solid, being gaseous.
Oh, that's a great example. That really helps.
The light spectrum, which you can see as a rainbow when the atmosphere is moist, like today, hear the rain in the background, is made up of 7 visible colours, each vibrating on a different frequency band from red, which is the lowest, to violet, which is the highest. This is the frequency band of light that human senses can detect, but there are colours beyond this spectrum that are invisible to human sight, such as infrared and ultraviolet. The notes of the musical scale are the same. The only difference between all the 7 notes is their vibrational frequency. It's actually the vibrational frequency of physical objects that our eyes and ears detect as sight and sound. If, say, for example, someone standing at a bus stop suddenly began vibrating at a different frequency, they disappear from our sight. This is what happens with ghosts. The spirit vibrates at a higher frequency than the physical body. So when we step out of the physical body at death, we're operating on a frequency beyond what most humans can pick up with their 5 senses, which are actually quite limited even compared to animals.
Yes, I'm in constant awe of nature.
Oh, me too. Just think about those special dog whistles that they can hear but we can't, and also the sonar abilities of bats and cetaceans. And another really interesting point is this deeper understanding of molecular frequency is one of the keys to off-planet technology.
Okay, so what does that mean?
The ETs can alter frequencies at will. For example, they can change the vibrational frequency of their body to enable them to pass through a solid wall. A major part of the universe is vibrating beyond the speed of light, so it's way beyond the ability of Earth humans to be able to see it or even record it on instruments. This is the dark matter that scientists talk about, most of which vibrates even higher than white light.
Oh, yes, we do know so very little. So, Judy, in our last episode, you spoke about the attunement or initiation process in Reiki. You said that this has the effect of raising our own energy system to a higher frequency, rather like tuning a radio from AM to FM, which in turn enables us to tune in to the Reiki frequency. Can you explain how the attunement process raises our energy frequency? What actually happens, and why then is Reiki different from hands-on healing? For example, when you witness to someone receiving a Reiki treatment, it looks like the practitioner is just laying hands on all the different chakras, but there's so much more to it.
Yes, there is. The Reiki initiation or attunement process is carried out using very specific symbols which have the effect of raising the vibrational frequency of the recipient's own energy system to a higher level. This is why in a first-degree Reiki seminar, the Reiki Master gives students 4 attunements each, and the last one is referred to as a sealed attunement. It has the effect of fixing the higher energy frequency into the energy system of the person being attuned. This way it remains permanent rather than dissipating after a few days. The other levels of Reiki each have one attunement, which also must be sealed. The frequency of the energy does not change as a person is initiated to higher levels. All Reiki energy is the same, whether it's being channeled by a first-degree practitioner or a Reiki master. What does change is the amount of energy being passed on. The higher level of Reiki attunement, the more energy that can be accessed in a shorter time. You could look on a Reiki 1 channel as a 1-inch ball pipeline, a Reiki 2 channel as a 2-inch ball pipeline, etc. This permanently fixed higher frequency of a properly attuned Reiki channel is the reason why they're protected and never drained when doing healing work.
Okay, so just to reiterate, it's the Reiki symbols that hold a higher energy frequency, and these symbols are used to do an attunement. The recipient receives these symbols in the attunement, thus connecting them to a higher power, to universal love.
Exactly. But some problems have occurred with these symbols being published in books and online. People just learn them off and think they can automatically do Reiki, or even worse, they set themselves up as Reiki masters. This just doesn't work. You must be attuned by a person who has been properly attuned to master level. Reiki comes out of the Tendai Buddhist tradition, so the passing on of the energy from teacher to student comes down a very specific lineage. Also, being forms of energy in and of themselves, the symbols must be done in a very specific way, and each one has its own mantra to turn it on, like an electric light switch. So just learning them out of a book doesn't allow them to work as they should. People who are sensitive to energy can often feel an energy with them, but you need to be properly attuned to use them.
Okay. And going back to what you said earlier, all Reiki is the same no matter what level you've attained, but the higher your level, the more Reiki energy you can access.
Yes, and this is the difference between attuned healing modalities such as Reiki and other hands-on healing techniques that don't involve an attunement process. There are many very good non-attuned spiritual type healing processes around, and I'm not denying this works. Everyone is born with a natural ability to heal through touch. But without the safety net of the attunement process, if we start doing healing on others on a regular basis, we eventually start tapping into our own energy system. This is the reason why so many hands-on healers end up getting sick or weakened themselves. The Reiki attunements have the effect of sealing and protecting the practitioner's own energy system. I've done both types of healing as I was first trained in hands-on healing in a spiritualist circle. I experienced how easy it is to take on the recipient's symptoms when doing healing, even with stringent hand washing afterwards, which our teacher always advised us to do. This is what drove me to investigate Reiki.
Okay, so I know there's been quite a lot lately on the internet about how more and more hospitals all over the world are starting to use Reiki in conjunction with traditional medicine, particularly in post-operative cancer and palliative care.
Yes, and this is great to see. Literally hundreds of hospitals all over the world are now using Reiki in their patient care programs. Just in America alone, there are around 800, so I'd say there'd be thousands around the world. There's a hospital in Mexico now allows Reiki therapists into the theatre during operations because they found it helps people to recover much more quickly from surgery. Some hospitals in Spain offer Reiki to both patients and staff. An online article entitled The Brain Waves of Reiki that was put out on July the 31st, 2011, written by a researcher by the name of Judith Pennington, details experiments using an electroencephalograph to measure the changes in the brain waves of a Reiki practitioner and client. This research has proven that Reiki energy is able to be measured scientifically. To quote Judith from the article, in several studies beginning in January of 2011, I observed the brain waves of as many as 6 modern Reiki healers working at the same time on a single recipient who was also a Reiki healer. At times, all of them produced, and some consistently, the 2 brainwave patterns identified in the book The Awakened Mind by C. Maxwell Cade as higher states of awareness. One is the open, flowing, awakened, meditative mind of clarity, creativity, insight and spiritual connection. And number 2 is the evolved mind of unity, bliss and illumination.
Yeah, wow, that is so interesting and wonderful that this groundbreaking research is now being carried out. There are still many more questions to be answered on this fascinating subject, which we will be covering in subsequent episodes. So thank you so much, Judy. To read more, Judy's books are available through Amazon and Kindle, and you can access them directly through Judy's website, which is included in the link below. If you've enjoyed this video, please share it with your friends and subscribe to this channel. Again, thank you, Judy, and we look forward to our next Q&A session. Bye for now.